But hey, such as hockey, and given the name, it's pucked. So what do you think they're going to do? Right? What do you think they're going to do? Hi wonderful people, and welcome back to my channel, Book Craze with Giselle. How are you going? What's up? What's the scene? Today I have something a little different for you. I like to mix it up a bit. So today we're going to talk about some of my favorite sports romance books. Like, I love sports romance. I think I've mentioned one or two books thus far on my channel, but I really enjoy this trope. Like, I don't know, there's just something about sports romance that just gets to me. Like, I love the covers. They're all like big and strong and sweaty and all delicious looking. I just love it. So today I am going to share with you some of my favorite sports romance that I have read, and I think if you have not read it, then you know what to do. Add it to your TBR. So let's get into this video. First up, I love this book. I thoroughly enjoy this book. When you read this book, it's going to leave you all nice and fuzzy and all warm inside. And it's The Game Plan by Kristen Callihan, and it's the third book in the Game On series. I was amazingly shocked when I read this book, and I instantly fell in love with Dexter, or Dex. Like, he's this big, lovable teddy bear of a man. Like, when he reveals his secrets, like later down in this book, you are like, wow. So Dexter has been eyeing Fiona for the past 2 years, and coincidentally, he ends up spending a week at Gray and Ivory's home, as well as Gray's sister-in-law Fiona. So yes, he's been eyeing Fiona for 2 years, and this was just his opportunity where he could like introduce himself and get to know her more and let her know how he feels, because Dex, he is an introvert and he's very insecure, and he has his reasons for being like that, as well as other reasons is why he held on to his V card. So yes, Dexter is a 24-year-old football player, and he's also a virgin. Like, you don't expect that. Tell me, I know you weren't expecting that. You don't expect that when you read a sports romance, because you know what? Athletes, they have their groupies and whatnot. They have women and men alike throwing themselves at them. So I know you did not expect Dexter to be a 24-year-old virgin. He and Fiona, they really connect, and he wants more. It's not just like a fling for him with Fiona. He wants more with her. But Fiona's parents were divorced, and this had a negative impact on her, and because of that, she's afraid to be in any like long-term committed relationship, because she believes that they're going to break up and she's going to be left behind with her broken heart. But Dexter doesn't want that. He really wants a long-term relationship. He's looking for his forever wife. So he's not all about playing games. Like, if he's in, he's in. And for Fiona, that's quite of a challenge, because she doesn't mind doing the fling, but she's scared to put her 2 feet into this relationship. So you just see where their friendship flows into a relationship and into something more, but it is not without its challenges. And I love those stories where the couples face different obstacles. And again, because of Dexter's reasoning, I'm not gonna spill the beans, because of Dexter's reasoning as to why he's still a virgin at 24, it breaks her heart, and it's gonna break your heart too when you read and find out more about Dexter and Fiona. Like, it is such a wonderful story. It is such a beautiful relationship that they form. And from the title, it's hot, because when Dexter gets a taste of what he has been holding out for, he wants it all the time. He's a quick learner, and he definitely gets to work on Fiona. Just, we're gonna leave this kind of PG-13, because It was hot, it was wet, it was sinful. It's everything that I like in a good book, because a good book, it must have a nice good sex scene or multiple, but it must also have a really good story plot. So love this book. Moving on to the next one. So I just spoke about football. Now we're going to talk about hockey, right? Hockey. And this book should not be a surprise for anyone. And it's Popped by Helena Hunting. This book was so funny. It was so funny. I like those, dirty jokes. I like books where tons and tons of bantering between the main characters. And to me, that just makes the book more enjoyable and entertaining to read. So with this one, you had a lot of that. For some persons, they thought it was immature, but maybe I'm immature because I loved it. So in this book, you meet, and this is book 1 in the Popped series, and you meet Violet and Alex. So Violet meets Alex when she goes to see her stepbrother play hockey, and he has his own book, and that's how she meets. She's instantly attracted to her, and Alex likes what he sees. Violet knows. She knows she should stay clear. She knows she shouldn't even entertain Alex. But she's like, what the heck was one night? What is one night? She gives in to temptation. Violet knows exactly what she's getting into. She's like, what the heck? So yeah, and this is how they meet, and you just see their relationship go on from there. I think it's more smutty and less on the sporty side, but hey, such as hockey, and given the name, it's Popped. So what do you think they're going to do, right? What do you think they're going to do? What Violet discovers in getting to know Alex is that how the media portrays him is not exactly how he is. Yes, and to be the team captain, you have got to be somewhat responsible. You have got to be someone motivated. So yes, he's portrayed as one thing in the media, and when she gets to know him, she just falls in love with him more and likes him more and wants to spend more time with him. But there was again tons and tons of food jokes, tons and tons of sex jokes and tons of sex, and writing about Alex monster. Don't want to say it, but he has a monster down below, and Violet likes it, and I guess I like reading about it, so which is why it made it to this list. This next book, I probably should have started with this book because this book is one of my favorite books, and I have actually reread this book multiple times. I just love it. The story is so beautiful, it's so compelling, it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. It's so passionate and there's so much compassion. Oh my god, I love this book. It's named Play With Me. It is written by Kristen Proby, and it's the 3rd book in the With Me in Seattle series. I have read all the books in this series, and this is just my favorite, and it so happened to be a sports romance. So you have in this book Megan and William, or Megs and Will, and they meet at Jules and Nathan's wedding. So William, or Will, he sees Megan and he's instantly attracted to her, and he's like, oh, who is this? And he's asking his sister about Megan, and she shuts him down. She's like, she doesn't want any part of him because he's a football star. He's a football superstar. So he's arrogant, but he's also really charming and has a really nice personality once you get to know him. Like, what he shows the media isn't what he's like in his everyday life. So Megan shuts him down, but he does pursue her, and he breaks down her walls, and they have such a phenomenal relationship once they start. It's like so good. It is so good. William is 2 feet into this relationship. He comes out and he lets her know exactly how he feels. But Megan is a problem child. Megan is a problem child because Megan, she has had a terrible upbringing. She has issues with her mom, right? She also has issues with commitment and trust because she has been hurt. and she was in the foster care system. She has a foster brother. While in college, she was actually pursuing music. She was part of a band, and then she was betrayed by someone so close to her, by someone she never expected would do something like that. She was betrayed, and because of that, she cannot do relationships. She cannot even say I love you. She can't. And Bwwm says this multiple times, and he gets nothing in return. And he's not forcing her to say it, but at the end, close to the end of the book, she just says it to someone, and he's instantly crushed because he has been with her for a couple months. He has been pouring out his heart, and she just pours her heart out to someone else. And oh my god, like I almost cried in this book. I almost cried. Megan, she's not your typical nurse, right? So she works in a children's hospital in the cancer unit, but she has tattoos, she has piercings, and oh my god, when Will and Megan connects, when Megan and William get together, I'm telling you, it is fireworks. It is beautiful. It is beautiful. You are going to love this sports romance. And I think with this book, it doesn't take away from the sporting aspect of William's life. Like, you know, you get to see all about the trainings and stuff that he goes through, and how they try to make their relationship work with their hectic schedule, because he's flying all over the US, having to play games, having to spend numerous hours training, and then as a nurse, she's working long hours. So just watching how their relationship progress and blossom, it's just beautiful. You are going to love this book. Let's go on to the next one, because I do have some more exciting books for you. This book, it's different. I wasn't expecting to read this. I was not expecting to get what I got from this book. It's written by Coco Brown, and it's Players Ultimatum, and it's book 1 in the Hands Off series. This is different from the other books that I've mentioned in that the plot, you are going to be turning the page because you're going to want to find out more. The story begins with Bobby, and Bobby, he is a soccer player. So Bobby is a soccer player, and he's working on getting this big contract landed. But rumors start to surface that he may be gay, and because of this, it may actually hinder him from getting this sporting contract. So he asks his best friend Yvonne to come and pose as his fiancée. So she flies the whole entire country, it's in Italy, pretending to be his fiancée. However, his teammate and rival, Paolo, is instantly attracted to Yvonne when he meets her, when she is introduced to the team as Bobby's fiance. Paolo starts to pursue Yvonne, and Yvonne's supposed to be Bobby's fiance, and she's also attracted to him. Told you this one was different. This book was so entertaining. It was so entertaining seeing that dynamic between Paolo and Yvonne and Bobby, who happened to be gay. Listen, Yvonne ended up being pregnant, and we'll leave it as that, right? We'll leave it as that. She ended up getting pregnant. I ain't gonna say no more. Another fantastic romance book is The Baller, written by V. Keelan. I love this book. It is fantastic in my opinion. It's cute, the characters are great, and it keeps wanting you to read more. And that's what I look for in a good book. You don't have some books you could start reading, put down, come back, start to read again. That's not me. If I start a book, I want to read everything through. The only thing could stop me is probably having to go to work or something like that. I need a book that will just have me entertained, have me sucked into the story, and this is what I got from The Baller. How this book starts off is Delia trying to interview Brody in the locker room. Brody's a football player and Delia is a sports reporter. Her father was a big football player, so she's very much into sports. But being a woman in this profession or in that profession, it is difficult, especially if you have these athletes coming on to you, especially if you are attracted to them. That just makes things a bit awkward and a bit more challenging, especially when you are trying to establish yourself, because you want to have standards. You want people to take you seriously. Yes, Brody was pursuing her because Delia keeps shutting him down, right? She keeps turning him down because she wants to be taken seriously. She doesn't want to become the laughing stock, or she's in this profession heavily dominated by men and she gets burnt from an athlete, especially Brody. He is known to be a player and she wants no parts, right? But with every time she turns Brody down, Brody is more interesting and he pursues her more. So it's just watching how this interaction between them and the bantering between them and all of that, it just makes for a very entertaining, funny read. And I really enjoy the fact that Delia, she didn't give up one time. She didn't give up the coochie. She didn't give up the nookie one time. Brody had to work for that, because all the time he was getting it, it was just being thrown at him. But no, not with her. He had to work for it. So I really enjoyed that about this book. This book, it was hot, it was sexy, it was flirty, and you are going to enjoy reading it. You all know I like interracial romance. So you know I have to have an interracial romance up in this sports romance favorites of mine. Wicked Games by Maureen Smith is also an interracial romance. In this book you have Nadia and Reed, and I absolutely love this story. Love it, love it, love it. Reed is a hockey player, and Nadia, she wants nothing, absolutely nothing to do with athletes. She has dated athletes in the past and she has been burned, so she doesn't want anything to do with them. Nadia is a recruiter for a university. However, Nadia's twin brother, he is a sports reporter. So someday he invited Nadia, to watch a hockey game with him, and she goes. Reed sees her on the stand and he's instantly attracted to her. Reed is not one to just, give out interviews just like that. So when he's approached by Nadia's brother, he's like, introduce me to your friend, introduce me to your sister, and I will give you an interview. So her brother does that, and that's it. That's history. Because once that introduction is made between Nadia and Reed pursues Nadia. Yes, she turns him down, but he pursues her and he shows her that he's dedicated. He shows her that he's committed to whatever is going to happen between them. Again, this one was steamy too. This one was steamy. All the books I'm talking about was steamy. All. Every single one of these books mentioned are pretty steamy. What made this particular sports romance interesting is that not only did they have to deal with the issue of Reed being a big athlete, a international well-known hockey player, but also they had to deal with the issues of being an interracial couple, because Nadia's family, they are pro-black, right? They are pro-black, and she brings home this white boy. So that's to tell you, like, this book was so enjoyable. It is definitely a page turner and you're going to enjoy it. Last up is Hoops by Kennedy Ryan. I mentioned this in another video. I absolutely love that book. It does have triggers, so be prepared. I think that's the only sports romance book that has a dark element to it, and it's because the heroine, she was abused. This is such a remarkable story. Like August and Iris, their relationship was not easy. They happened to meet at a sports bar one night and they immediately hit it off. However, Iris was already in a relationship with one of August's rival. Iris' boyfriend, he was terrible to Iris. He treated her so bad. He trapped her in a relationship by poking holes in a condom to get her pregnant, and because she was pregnant, she just couldn't leave. When she did try to leave, he basically made her look like if she was kidnapping their kid, but she was actually just trying to get out of abusive relationship. And because he's this big basketball player, they believed her boyfriend, and because of that, she was trapped to the point where she almost died. Like, this guy had a guard on her. She couldn't leave the house without this security guard. It was terrible. And only when she almost died did she get the strength to call out for help. So only when she almost died did she cry out for help. Like, she contacted her cousin. And with this romance, which is different from all the others that I've read that I have mentioned in this list, it's that you get to see the dark side of a sports romance. Like, you get to see the dark side of athletes. Everything is always, yes, they have the groupies, yes, you have to deal with cheating and stuff like that, but this is the first one where you actually had abuse. Like, this man physically, mentally, emotionally, financially abused this woman, abused Iris. And in between all this, she and August were still friends. And he was letting her know, listen, anytime you want to be with me, I am ready. This man held out for this woman for at least for a year or something like that. He held out for this woman. And she had to really heal herself before she can give herself to August. It was such a phenomenal story. I love it. I'm sure it's like one of my favorite books I've read this year. It doesn't have as much steam as the other book because this one really had a storyline. It really had story development. This book doesn't have as much steam. It doesn't have as much sensual scenes as the other book, but you know what? It doesn't take away from how beautiful the story is written. It doesn't take away from how entertaining this book is. And I am sure if you read this book, you're probably going to cry for Iris. It's that touching. So thank you for watching my video. I hope you got some really good recommendations. These are just some of my favorite sports romance. If you'd like me to, talk about some more sports romance on my channel, hit your girl up in the comment section down below. If you want me to do some more taboos, let me know. Your girl have an extensive list because she does a lot of reading. Don't forget to subscribe, like my channel, leave a comment down below, hit that notification bell so you know every time I post a video, and share my video because it's going to help your girl out a lot. So share it and look out for when I post another video.